the ceremonial. The blue jackets and the red boots are the Blues and Royals, Prince Harry's regiment. The light guards opposite. They face each other. One guard is changing with another. Red guards and the blue guards. This is the household cavalry, the Queen's special mounted guard. That's where the Beatles used to go and spend money in the 1960s. And they'd made it very upmarket, fashion street, gentlemen's perfumiers, shaving shops, costumes. Rowley's restaurant just here on the left, that's a place where the Beatles like to spend money. Rather a sort of grand place inside, mirrors and tiles. The British flags were put up for Harry's wedding 2 weeks ago, and they're staying in place there for the Queen's birthday celebrations this weekend. He was the elder son of King George III, and then became George IV when his father died. But he ruled before that anyway, so he was used to it when the time came. Louvre at Paris. And then the Spanish were second with the Prado at Madrid. London followed on in the 1824, the establishment of the National Gallery. Started with a collection that a Russian businessman on his deathbed sold to the government. Didn't give it, just sold it. Outside there. The lions around the base of Nelson's column were designed by Sir Edwin Landseer, who was Queen Victoria's favourite artist when Sir Christopher Wren created it. A marvel of construction with no power, simply wood and rope and stone in those days. 1711, the date that is the completion date of St Paul's Cathedral. About 30 years after the fire, 1666, 35 years. There he is. Two. The sound of a bell over London. We miss Big Ben as it's been turned off. But this is a great sound. It's a complex tone, the bell tone. Several notes ring in it. There's the fundamental tone. But you hear overtones in it too. All the way up the harmonic scale. Created by the shape of the bell, the flared rim and the... It's all on purpose, it's not just a fanciful design. Now on the right, this is the Millennium Bridge, the wobbly bridge it's sometimes called. Because when it was built it wobbled. That was the designer's idea. It was supposed to be like a rope bridge between two cliff faces, but people complained it wobbled too much and so it had to be strengthened. So now it wobbles just a little bit. But it's kept that name. Well done.
I can see your surprise. We should go on tour.
That would be nice. It's this bell here on the right ringing for a service at 12:30. St Magnus the Martyr Church. But bus stop 41 on your map if you're watching. If you're not, don't worry. So I wasn't quite right when I said the next stop would be Tower of London. We're doing this differently. You're gonna get 2 extra bridges for your money. That's very sweet of you. Thank you very much. It's quite an anonymous bridge. It's not well known. Not like Tower Bridge to the left. There is Tower Bridge, not to be confused with London Bridge. It is said that the American Mr. McCulloch thought he was buying Tower Bridge when he asked for London Bridge. I'm not so sure that's true. Nobody could be that stupid. Yes. On the right of us, London Bridge Hospital, an old warehouse. It's a private hospital now, so that's new, but the building is old. On the right there. To the left and on the right. Sorry, yes?
Is this still functioning?
Yes, as a hospital. It's very much so. On the left in the river, there's an old battleship from the Second World War, HMS Belfast. That is now a floating museum. Tower Bridge is called Tower Bridge because the Tower of London is next to it, which is, we can just see now in the trees there. There's always very good shows on there. Yes, King Olaf helped us. The Battle of London Bridge in 1015, the year.
Oh, how beautiful.
The building on the left, that is City Hall, the glass globe building. That's the office of the Mayor of London. We have 2 mayors of London. One is the Lord Mayor and the other is the Mayor. The Lord Mayor's job goes back 1,000 years. He presides over the City of London, the banking district, and is in position for 1 year only. The Mayor of London is only a 20-year-old job, but responsible too. And now, Tower Bridge. And we are going to cross. Straight ahead of us is Tower Bridge. We are crossing Tower Bridge. It's a wonderful entrance to London, Tower Bridge. These successive arches as you go through, as if being swallowed up by the city as we enter. And this again is Victorian Gothic architecture. Only 120 years old, this building, but made to look as if it's some fantasy citadel from a medieval period. And next to it, the Tower of London on the left there, you see. That is 1,000 years old, the genuine article, real old, where Victorian is always a pretense. On the left here, straight ahead of the building, there's the tower. And then next to the tower, the great skyscrapers of the modern city, the glass buildings. The one nearest to us is the Gherkin with the black stripes, the round building.
Yeah.
That was the first one 20 years ago and was very prominent then. All the others now have dwarfed it in 20 years. We come at the peak of this hill is the centre of the bridge where the 2 roads meet. This is the bridge that opens up. We can just see it here. If you look down, you'll see the gap. Thank you, John. That's very nice of you. Very considerate. Glad to see you're paying attention down there. And HMS Belfast down to the left again, the battleship. Out to the right, you see skyscrapers downriver with the cranes. That is Docklands area. A wonderful place to visit in its own right. Down to the left, you can see the sandbanks here, the tide completely at low level now. And the entrance to the tower there, down to the left, is Traitor's Gate. If you went in at Traitor's Gate, you didn't come out alive. No one ever did. The moat around the castle here on the outside, very difficult to get across. And then the outer wall, this is 800 years old and pristine condition, hardly touched at all since all that time. And then the inner wall with the round towers at intervals, that's 900 years old. Each of those towers in the past would have held a prisoner. Political prisoners almost always.
Once you imagine you've just arrived in London and you're full of it jet lags, and you decide to have the rest on your bed, and your bed collapses. It's not your fault, it's the intent. It's the same with the guards. The whole building has to be checked right way through. It takes normally 35 minutes. During that time, the band will play in the forecourt. Now today might be your national day, I don't know. If that's the case, the band will play something connected with that country, make you feel at home. So down this road here, it leads to Portsmouth, where HMS Victory is based. The fountains are in four corners representing the four corners of the globe. On the front of the column you see four lions. This is called the Landseer Lions. Now, so every Landseer had a problem trying to find a lion to pose. He had to use a model, he used of all things, his pet Labrador dog. Look very carefully at the lion. Have you ever seen a lion with his tongue hanging out? Doesn't happen. And look at the paws, they're not lion's paws, they're doggy paws. At the height of the Battle of Trafalgar, 27 ships of the British fleet took on 33 of the French and the Spanish. At the end of the battle, 22 ships of the French and Spanish lost, and Britain didn't lose one. All the way you see in Trafalgar Square, company feeds French and Spanish fleets. Life in the Royal Navy continues as it ever did in the days of Nelson. When Nelson got taken below deck at the Battle of Trafalgar, the Royal Marine Sergeant Major refused to wipe the blood of Nelson off his uniform. That tradition still carries on today, because every Royal Marine War officer always wears unpolished buttons, and I'm happy to say the United States Marine Corps have continued that tradition, because they wear blue tunics representing the oceans, light blue stripes represent the sea, and the red stripes represent the blood of Nelson to this day. It still goes on. If you're here next week, as from Friday, it's once every day. They're going to face across the far side, the north side of St James. Then I can assure you it's like watching paint dry. You won't see a thing. They just change the sentries over and the guard march out. The guard will march past roughly about, we'll say, 12 p.m, probably even earlier than that. And that band you see coming down, they were the band marching back because they're the old guard. This is the new guard.
you have the Jammy Dodger biscuit, a traditional fruit cake, plum mousse, lemon and elderflower slice with meringue on top, and the chocolate biscuit.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then which, like, I was told that the flavors, I heard someone else saying the flavors go with, like, the wedding.
Yes, so this one is from William and Kate. They're the chocolate biscuit cake. The traditional fruit cake was from the Queen. The plum mousse was Victoria and Albert. They're the plum cake. And the lemon and elderflower is our interpretation of Prince Harry's wedding. And the Jamie Dodger biscuit, because it's a childhood favorite, is in honor of the new prince. Yeah, please enjoy.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah, enjoying everything?
Yes.
Perfect. Is it big for now?
Worst of it.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
That much? Wow.
It is a lot. Chocolate chip scones.
Yeah, well, if you just like. What on earth is happening right now? I'm so confused. I'm gonna film it. It looks very wrong. Maybe there was a filming this. Who has a wedding at Buckingham Palace? It's a private residence. Like, Queenie lives there still. No, these are all. Yeah, they all work there because they're all holding their thingy. I'm pretty sure. I'm terribly confused right now. I'm filming this. I just feel that you have to be dressed up in proper clothes If I see the Queen right now, no, it can't be. Unless they don't even know this. Take it on the back.
Can we plan these better, please? 'Cause I think you guys forget. I live over an hour away. I literally live an hour away. So can we plan this because I usually go there.
embarrass myself because I don't want to embarrass all of you, but I'm sure some of you do it as well. Those of us in the room that have Instagram might follow dog breeds. I do it. Mary absolutely loved pugs. Pugs were her thing. The Royal Lapdog is by no means a new thing. But Mary, being so tall, didn't want to have to bend down to stroke her dogs. So she bred her pugs up with spaniels. I don't know if that would be a spug.
Good morning, everybody. Just to let you know, anyone taking photos is automatically fined £20.
Good thing it's video and not photos.
Video is capture every 0.2 of a second. So that's a lot of video. For like £20 you're owing me right now. Right, good morning, everyone. My name's Andrew. I'm going to be your guide on this trip around the countryside today. Our driver is Coley, the little man at the front. It is a nice chilled tour, this one. We don't do the mad chicken dash round which we do on some of our tours. We drive up to Leeds Castle, then we go to Dover, then we go to Canterbury. And then when we come back, we get rid of Coley at Greenwich and go on a river cruise. It is about an hour and a half, an hour and 3/4 to begin with. But when we get there, we'll drop you off at Leeds Castle. We'll give you some alcohol. Yeah, we do give you some alcohol. And then we let you wander around the castle. We do have certain rules. Firstly, put your seatbelts on. Seatbelts are a legal requirement. It's a £250 fine if you're not wearing a seatbelt. If you're not bothered about that, if you hand over £250 to me, I will pay it on your behalf if we're stopped. Anyone give me 250 quid? Nobody ever gives me the money. We don't allow hot food or drink. And this is done because, unfortunately, people have come on with a hot drink before. We've had to break. The hot drink is no longer their hot drink. It's worn by the person in front. So we don't do hot food or drink. We also don't have ice cream. Ice cream is classified as hot food. Basically, people have come on before, dropped the ice cream and not told anyone, and the next person's gone, bang. On our right, this little garden here is the Grosvenor Gardens. And this is actually dedicated to our great friendship with the French, which explains why it's so small. Yes. We don't traditionally get on with... Oh, is anyone French on board today? Probably should have checked that before I started being mean about the French. No, in London we do have every nationality, so we do welcome a lot of different nations into London. Doesn't mean we always like them, but they come in anyway. We are the most multicultural city in the world. And traditionally we don't get on with the French. We've gone to war with them more times than any other nation. And yet, we celebrate French food, French wine. So, we're a bit of a weird nation. It doesn't always make sense what we do half the time. Just look at our food. Current British dish, chicken tikka masala. Yes. Really not British at all, is it? We take whatever we like from other people and claim it as our own. If you look over to our right, we have the Tate Modern, the Shakespearean Globe and the Shard. We will be coming down later, so you'll get a better view when we come down the river. And it was a Saxon chieftain called Led, L-E-D, or Led, L-E-E-D, or Led, L-E-E-D-E. Trust me, the English language didn't make a lot of sense for a long time. So, Leeds Castle, named after a man whose name we don't really know. You will, a lot of our history, English wasn't a language as such, it was still being set up. Shakespeare famously, on his will, wrote his name 6 different ways. He couldn't even work out how to write his own name, and he's one of the greatest writers in history. So some of the old spellings didn't make a lot of sense. He was a Saxon chieftain, and he had a fortification here. It's an island. There is a lake around it. And he built his fortification upon the island, but it wasn't a castle. The castle didn't come along until a bit later on, with the Guiche family. This is back in the 1150s. William conquered and invaded in 1066, and he built a lot of castles. He built castles as a way to display his power, to consolidate his power. And he didn't keep them all for himself. He gave rights to his various knights and companions. He was one of the Norman conquerors that first had Leeds Castle. They had been here before, but the castle wasn't built. It was built here, and it is one of the prettiest castles in the world. It is stunningly pretty, Leeds Castle. The thing to remember, when baby swans are born, black or white, they're both grey.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know it sounds weird, but the black swans and white swans, they don't care what one it is. They're very protective of all the babies. Well, I've even seen the swans looking after ducklings.
No, it was cute. One of the
Yeah.
swans was marching back and forth.
Yeah, they do it with the ducklings as well.
Yeah.
They look after babies. It doesn't matter if it's their baby or not. So when the black swans had their baby here, they took them away because they can be they're very weak when they're young. So they took them away until they're a little bit older, and then they bring them back when they're old enough.
We had more than was good for him. So you just get a little bit, enough to set you up for the day, not enough to knock you off your feet. So it's just like
So really get alcohol?
Yes.
I thought it was a joke.
No, we give you alcohol, honey. This part of the bridge would have been a wooden drawbridge. And you can see the shape of the gatehouse that the bridge would have been drawn up into. There are two little slots for the chains that would run through to pull them up. And if anybody did get across the bridge to the front gate of the castle, see those 4 holes in the wall up there? That's where they poured boiling oil on their heads. We don't do that now because oil's too expensive. So we're going to go into the gatehouse. There's a little area where you can watch a video, make yourselves comfortable, and I'll bring the meat around. Just meat, no popcorn.
Dover now. As we drive in, you will get to see some of the chalk, because everything around here was actually shaped during the last great ice age. You can see all these valleys and cliffs coming through, formed by the glaciers. Over on our right, we have our first sighting of chalk, because everything is chalk. The soil here is about 6 to 8 feet deep, so it's actually on the cliffs. The White Cliffs, technically, as we drive in. But then technically, when you're at Stonehenge, you're on the White Cliffs of Dover. it is an enormous cliff front. Dover was the gateway to Europe, because before the last great ice age there was actually a bridge connecting England and European mainland. It was washed away during the ice age, so we are now an island nation. But Dover has been attracting people for a very, very, very long time. We have had this image of being an independent, separate island nation, which is completely wrong. People have been visiting Britain for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. If you ever spend time in Dover, one of the exhibitions here is a Bronze Age boat, which would have been used to sail over from Europe. Or I say sail, technically it wouldn't have been sailing over, it would have been rowing over from Europe. But it doesn't sound right saying rowing over from Europe. I know it's wrong, but you still say sailing automatically because that's what your brain is wired to do. And people literally have been coming over here. Around Stonehenge, they do a lot of archaeological digs around there. And they have started doing genetic testing on some of the bits they found. So they found people visiting Stonehenge from Switzerland, from the Mediterranean, from Belgium, from Holland. So they've done, I don't understand it myself, please don't ask me to explain it because it's weird genetic DNA testing, I don't understand. But they traced the ancestry of these people and they all seem to have been coming from all across Europe to visit Stonehenge. And Dover has been their gateway in. I think they're a little bit jealous. We have an English Channel, an Irish Sea, and there's nothing for the French. So I think they just called it a trench to be jealous. But if you look over on our right, you can see these round little bricked bits. These are the airways for the fortifications. So they were underneath here, there were still bits and shelters from the bombing raids and stuff. So it's all the way back here, and we still haven't got to the cliffs itself yet. On the cliff tops. It wasn't towers though, they had these weird concrete, It was also at Dover they had the first sort of working radar system. I do say sort of working, it's a very basic system they had, and it gave us advance warning when the Germans were attacking. Because during the Second World War, Leeds Castle turned into one of the earliest burns hospitals. So the RAF pilots had been shot down, crashed and burned, were put into Leeds Castle. Lady Elizabeth Bailey and her daughters worked there as nurses. They turned it over as one of the earliest forms of a burns hospital. We didn't really have burns treatment until the Second World War, so in a sense. It's where we've got the giant shipping ports, we've got passenger ships and stuff like that. It means it's quite a sprawling town, and not that many people. No. We are not going to France today, Coley.
Have you got your passport?
Coley, we are not going to France. If you look up here though, you can see the cliffs. And we are spinning back round. Like I said, it's a weird town. To get to the White Cliffs, you have to drive all the way down here and then turn back round again to go to the beach. As we're driving along, look up on our right and you can see where they were building the cliffs, building into the cliffs. Yeah, so this is where they had sorts of strange stuff going on during the Second World War. They do a swim from Dover to Calais, and it is a tradition. The record is currently held by a Bulgarian man who done it in just under 6 hours. If you want to go for the swim, we will show you where to start. There is actually a start line here. If you do go for the swim, I've got to point out, we're not going to be waiting for you. Yeah, it is an incredible difference here, isn't it? You literally walk round one corner and everything changes. Yeah? It's staggering how much difference you get just from turning one simple corner, isn't it?
This is the new bit. The new bit.
Fortress, the Tower of London. My name's Yeoman Warder Lawrence, and for the next 5.5 hours, I'm going to be your guide. Okay, together, you and I, we are going to explore the Tower of London. I'm going to point out some of the more historical buildings, and I'm going to tell you something of their past. However, before we get into that, I need to give you a little bit of context, tell you how we came to be where we are today. And in order for me to do that, I've got to take you right back to where our story begins. And I do mean right back. All the way back through time, right way back, as far back as you can imagine, all the way back to 9 a.m. Right, 9 a.m. Saturday the 14th of October, 1066. And of course, I am talking about the Battle of... Now on that day, a battle takes place that changes the course of history. Not just for England, Britain, Europe, but for the entire world. Two great lords stand opposite each other. On one side, the very last Anglo-Saxon King of England, King Harold Godwinson. Opposite him, his arch nemesis, Duke William of Normandy, better known as... Well, he wasn't known as William the Conqueror at the time, was he? Because he hadn't conquered anything. Does anybody know what he was actually known as? William the Bastard. Excuse me? The Bastard of Normandy. Now, children, that is a name. Say it as much as you like. Lots of... And so die, all traitors. God save the king! God save the king! Disgusting with yourself. Right, that head would then have been impaled onto a soldier's pipe and paraded right through the streets of London down towards London Bridge, which in those days, that was the only bridge that crossed the River Thames. We're now stood at probably one of the most infamous places in the world for two very, very good reasons. Behind you is the infamous Bloody Tower, and behind me is the equally infamous Traitor's Gate. I'll tell you about the tower in a little while. First of all, though, we're going to start here with Traitor's Gate. In fact, before we do that, I've missed out one very important building and some of my favourite stories. So, ladies and gentlemen, if we look back down, we've probably got time to squeeze it in. We've just walked down Water Lane. Now, on the right-hand side, down the end, you can see a large tower. Now, that's known as the Bell Tower. Now, it was built during the reign of King Richard I, the Lionheart, and it derives its name, as you might imagine, from that small white belfry you can see up there on the top. Now, that still contains one of the oldest surviving curfew bells in London. And when sounded in alarm, that was a signal for us to close all of the gates and doors and to man these battlements for defence. It is still sounded at 16:45 every day to notify all yeoman warders that any children still left on site can be legally beheaded. So kids, if you hear the bell, see your parents running, keep up. Now the bell tower itself, it is the oldest and the strongest of the 13 towers that sit on the inner wall. And it stands on a solid block of masonry some 30 feet deep. It consists of two separate chambers, one above the other, which are unusually not connected by a spiral staircase. This is because the lower portion of that chamber was completed about 60 years before the upper portion. Now it's held some really important prisoners within its walls. Princess Elizabeth was held prisoner down there by her half-sister, Mary Tudor, also known as...
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary, yes, Queen of Scots, be quiet. Now, Bloody Mary, now they were both daughters of King Henry VIII. But after a split from the Catholic Church, Mary, she remains true to her faith. Elizabeth, like her father, well, she's Anglican. Now, when Mary's queen, there are many, many plots against her. She is absolutely convinced that her sister is involved. So she is arrested and locked up down there in the Bell Tower. Now, 2 months go by, but not enough evidence could actually be found. So she was released. But she only ever returned to the Tower of London once more in her lifetime, 4 years later, 1558, to prepare for her own coronation as Queen Elizabeth I of England.
cream cheese sandwich and a ham sandwich over there. We have 2 scones, 2 slices of a chocolate muffin. I believe this to be a carrot cake and a lemon drizzle cake underneath the scone on the other side, and 2 macaroons. Enjoy, guys.
What's up?
Hi, buddy. We called you, but you're sleeping, so we just wanted to show you the theater real quick. There's a dragon up there. They wouldn't let us take any pictures or videos during the show, but it was about a scary witch. But we just wanted to show you and say that we love you and we promise. Okay? See the dragon? Okay. We'll talk to you later, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the auditorium is now closing. Please make your way to the nearest open exit. Thank you very much for coming.
बेगम ये तो व्हील चेयर में आए हैं अरे वाह घोड़ों की वो है ए बेगम वो देखो घोड़ों की
छब्बीस जनवरी में इससे बढ़िया चलिए 26 जनवरी में इससे बढ़िया 26 जनवरी का देख लो
अपने तो हो और तुम्हारे बैग और लाद लिए हो आओ उठाएंगे क्या अंकल हमको उठाएंगे
अब अंकल को तुम्हारी पैंट आएगी उसके बाद तुमको अंकल खाएंगे
नहीं
अरे बाबू अभी बात 26 जनवरी
हो गया चलिए अच्छा रहा नाइस एक्सपीरियंस
हाँ बढ़िया
मजा आया टाइम पे आए हम लोग
बहुत टाइम पे सुनिए
इसके लिए लोग
वैसे हम लोग
Guys, can we create a walkway, please? Thank you. Walkway, please, guys. Left or right? Thank you. Guys, left or right? Guys, can you put yourself back? Guys, thank you.
You're right up there, Toad. Don't fall off. Or if you're going to fall off, fall forward. It's alright, as long as one of them is.
My knees are starting to hurt. How do I get out?
Any more coming down the mall, Toad?
No more coming down this way, just road cleaners.
Just road cleaners.
Yeah.
Just people coming this way now.
I think she's 93. The Duke of Duke, he's 97. 96. She's 3 years younger.
How long was she married for?
51 years.
Was she handed down?
That's right.
Was she handed down?
Yes. From her father.
No, like, will she say, okay, I'm going to give it to this person?
No, she's in automatic.
Okay.
The time she gets it, she doesn't refuse.
Okay.
It's a 1950
I wasn't sure if she, like, hands the crown down to her son or not.
Well, she can do. Nobody really knows. Nobody knows. Because Prince Charles, he's 60 now. William would be the next one.
William would take
Prince
it
William.
before Prince Charles?
After Prince Charles. Depends if Prince Charles takes it, accepts it. The Queen can abdicate. Or, yeah, she can abdicate. Or if she dies, then it's automatically passed to Prince Charles.
So she abdicates here. Like, has a queen or king ever done it before?
I don't think so. Because was it Queen Victoria, when she died, there wasn't an automatic son. Or, I'm not sure, not very good.
Okay, no, it's fine.
So,
I just wasn't sure, like,
Yeah.
like if they
Normally they
retired.
normally it
that
goes
work.
to the next generation.
Okay. I wasn't sure if she's like, okay, I've done my share. Let's pass this on. Let me just.
Because it would be Charles, then it'd be William, and if he doesn't want it, then it'd be Harry.
Would it be?
But it'd be now
Would it be
it'd be
William's
his
son?
William's son and daughter. Daughter's coming to it now.
So, would the daughter get it over the new baby? Or would it go to the new baby?
It would go to the new baby. I think we go to the new. I think it goes to. I think it goes to the new baby. It's the next generation.
So, so she can get passed up because she has a brother.
Yes.
No.
It's all changing now because the women, the females, take the equal to the men. At one time it wasn't. And age just comes into it. The oldest one will get it. Whether it be a daughter or a son, the oldest one will get it. Charles got it because Princess Anne, she was older. Yeah. That was his sister, Princess Anne. Yes. But she should have got it, but because Charles was a male, he got it. I think that's what it was.
But now with the new rules, will he still get it or will it go to him?
Who? What? Prince Charles will get it, yes.
at a twinkle. I'm sorry you're asleep, buddy. We will try to do this again tomorrow for you. And it's raining right now too. We love you, Brayden.
Love you, Brayden.
Love you, Maddie.
Au revoir.
Hi, Buggy. It's lighting up again. One more time before it goes night-night. See how the sun's asleep? It's getting ready to go night-night. We love you. And look, Buggy. This is where we had dinner. Doesn't it look fun? Yummy. Love you. There's Daddy. And there's the tower. Mwah. Love you, Maddie. Love you, Brayden. We'll do it in Verona now for sure. 2, 3.
Greek section, but they're all Roman copies of Greek versions. The Romans were obsessed with the Greeks and they tried to replicate them in many ways. This is real. Now the Greeks did use marble, but what they tended to prefer was bronze images, bronze casting. I actually saw one for the very first time in the Met 2 weeks ago. There is one. So it's very hard to find them. What happens is they would melt down the bronze. Bronze is valuable. So imagine finding something original. It was also the first time we found a Greek sculpture with her nose. Before this, all we were finding were arms.
Hi, Buggy. We're gonna go through a front door. It's round and it runs. Here we go. Whee! Hi, Buggy. It's Mommy. Look where we are. Isn't that great, Sissy? Rita and Maddie, look. It's the Eiffel Tower. Should we bring it home for you? Love you guys. Miss you. Look, guys. It's like a hidden cave in a secret garden. But they won't let us over there. But how neat is that? Oh, wait. I think I see something else. It's a tree. It's a train. No, it's the Eiffel Tower. Oi, it's big. Love you. Look, guys, we're underneath the Eiffel Tower. See those windows? That's where Mommy and Daddy are gonna have lunch today. We love you.
Les personnes qui vont au restaurant, 50 euros descente ici, s'il vous plaît. The ones of you going to the restaurant, 58 start here. The other ones same size. check pour le sommet, deuxième étage. Stay inside for the second and top floor, please. They're hard to see because it's not really that clear.
Joder, que no. Yo subo, loco. Normal.
¿Y eso qué?
¿Andando?
Oh, never mind. We did that 10 years ago.
Próxima senhoria.
That wasn't
People live Niger, you know, so they exit.
Carato, voilà.
S'il vous plaît.
S'il vous plaît. Perfect, you can keep that.
Merci.
Merci.
我说你往这边走一走不就？没有声音了吗？这有啥呀？就差那么2步啊。
The castle. This is all part of the palace.
Too big to fit in one picture.
¿Ya listo, Julia?
She wanted to escape the life of being a queen of France. So, her husband, King Henry, built her a mini palace. I found a secret in the garden. So pretty here. This is what Marie Antoinette built to escape her royal life. She pretended to be a peasant. However, I don't think that's much of a house for a peasant. But it is utterly gorgeous. Does a French cow's milk taste any different than an American cow's? Look, Brayden! Look, Manny! It's a cow! Moo! Look, Buggies! Sissy, I found a farm! They have chickens. And goats. And sheep. And geese. And more chickens. And what's that? What sound does the cow make, guys? So pretty. Have no idea where we are. But I have a cute tour guide.
can't have your check.
¿Dale la torre? Oh, you guys going to Versailles?
I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, we could, but we gotta figure out how to get there.
It's just an easy train.
Yeah, from the train.
Yeah. We went today. So we walked over gardens and we got lost.
Asegúrala porque la mía se mueve.
There's a funny story. We were in a restaurant 2.5 months ago with some neighbors of ours. And whenever the food was finished with dinner, and the waitress came and said, "Would you like some dessert or coffee?" My wife goes, "Oh, I'd like some tea."
Alan, get up here with me. Oh.
Checks to see if we're located.